I mean, tell me that I look good today. Hey everyone, welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and this podcast is a random hodgepodge of topics that gets released on every Tuesday on, your preferred platform, of course. And I really enjoy sharing my personal stories and making those connections with you guys and just really being relatable, all in a fun and silly environment. Hey friends, have you ever taken a love language quiz or read a love language book? Stick around and learn about it all. Find out what I learned about myself and see which love languages are speaking to you. Okay, and I will preface this by saying some of this information that I am sharing with you in this episode does come from Dr. Gary Chapman, who is a well-known marriage counselor and wrote the 5 Love Languages book, which was a New York Times bestseller. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for this. Oh my gosh. So, what is love language? Big Dane, what are you saying? Oh man. So, this is what it is. It is learning about yourself and your partner and how you both receive love, right? And think about it, like, we all have different personalities, we have different needs, wants, desires, and all of that, relating back to love. So it's pretty interesting to me because you may not know what your partner's number one love language is. Sure, you've been going out for a couple years, maybe you're even married, you don't even know this, and you may have an idea of what your partner does like, but I think understanding each other and even taking it to the next level of adding all of that detail around, that is truly amazing because it's making your connection so much more valuable in your relationship. Because who wants to be in a relationship where you're doing something for someone or you're coming back with a gift and they're like, yeah, I don't really care, I mean, it's all about continuing to learn about ourselves and our partner. And maybe you don't have a partner, and that's okay. But I think if you learn about yourself and understand what you truly want, that's going to help shape a relationship that you do want. And find out what you do want in a relationship. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And I think the first time I probably heard about the 5 love languages was probably about 6 years ago, because my friend Bridget was reading a book and she was talking about these 5 love languages. Now, granted, it's not the same as Dr. Gary Chapman's book, but it was something similar. And I thought, wow, I never even thought about this. This never crossed my mind. And why would it if I never heard of it, right? So let's get into it. The 5 love languages right here. Okay, so we got acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, and receiving gifts. Dun, da, da, da. Yeah, so those are the 5, okay? Acts of service. So just as it sounds, right? Actions here are speaking louder than words. All right, are you going to do this? You're going to go take out the trash? Or what are you doing? Are you going to do the laundry or not? Am I right? Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like these love languages, all of these different ones, this is how people are saying, like, this is what's important to me, right? And so, sure, you might be having, you might have a mix, but I think there is like a one overarching where it's like, I need this now, And yeah, so that is acts of service. Now, words of affirmation. Okay. Yes, this is about using words to affirm other people. Hey, you look great today. Hey, you did a great job today at work. Things like that, right? People want to hear it. They want to hear it out loud. Because sometimes I think knowing how, you're good at something, let's say, or knowing that you do look great today, hearing it from someone else is just a different feeling, right? Because we want to feel that love. And sure, it's amazing. It's great if, you're really loving yourself 100%. Oh yeah, I hear you. So, but now your partner, maybe even a friend, right? They're saying like, wow, you look great today. Or, hey, I'm so proud of you, or things like that. Like that goes a long way to just hear it from other people, because it's almost like an acknowledgement of that, they are caring about you. They're thinking about you, and it's nice to hear. It is nice to hear. Okay. Physical touch. Now, this is exactly what it sounds, right to the bedroom. It's not about the bedroom. It could be, but not ultimately. This could literally mean I'm standing there, I'm washing dishes, and then someone comes up behind me and just gives me a hug. How great is that? Yeah. Things like that. Or just, as you're talking to someone, I feel like I will sometimes do this. I'll like be talking to someone and then I'm like, wait, but, or like, oh my gosh. And then now when I'm saying like, oh my gosh, I'm like touching their arm. You know what I mean? Your friends that do this, maybe some family members, they're like always touching you when you're trying to have a conversation. Now, who knows if, the other person on the end being touched really likes that, but who knows? But yeah, if you're the other person on the other end and you're being touched, you're like, wow, this is great, but some people, they don't want to be touched. So little fine line there, right? But it could also mean, we're going out to dinner and, we're going to be walking to the restaurant. Okay. Well, look at that. We're holding hands. Oh my gosh. So it's kind of like little things of touch, like not necessarily like, all right, let's go do it. Let's go do it upstairs in the bedroom. Yeah, not quite. But, okay. How about the next one here? Quality time. Now this is pretty good stuff here. Yep. So, just as you think, this is about dedicating your time, undivided attention here, to your partner. So this means either date night. This could mean sitting down and watching a movie together. Like literally, like, give me 100% of you. It's just us. Let's go. Because that's what's important to them. That's the key here. Okay. Now, receiving gifts. Yes, receiving gifts. Now, for some people, this is what makes them feel the most loved. And some of you may think like, what? How could that be? I know. But it's true. We're all different. We all have different personalities and we like different things. And some people, this is their number one. So, hey, my partner went out on a trip, a guy's or a girl's trip, and they came back and, wow, you were thinking of me? Oh my gosh, you got me this t-shirt. You didn't have to, but they did. They did have to because they know you like receiving gifts. This is your number one. So, hey, yo. So let me share now what my quiz said about the love language. Okay. Unfortunately for Matt, acts of service is my number one. Yes, 30% of this, right? And then the other ones were pretty much tied, 23% with words of affirmation, physical touch, and quality time. Do you want to hear what their percentage for receiving gifts is? 0. 0. I mean, yeah, I like gifts, but that's on the back burner. It's not as important to me as all the other things that I mentioned here. Okay, so let me just go into it with you a little bit deeper. So the acts of service, this is what it's telling me on my results of the quiz. And this quiz, again, it's a quiz from Dr. Gary Chapman. So thank you again, Gary, so much. So it says here, can vacuuming the floors really be an expression of love? Absolutely. Anything you do to ease the burden of responsibilities weighing on an acts of service, quote unquote, person will speak volumes. The words he or she most wants to hear, let me do that for you. Laziness, broken commitments, and making more work for them tells speakers of this language their feelings don't matter. This is true. Finding ways to serve speaks volumes to the recipient of these acts. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is me, because I will say, it has been very stressful at work. It's been very busy, a lot of hours. And there's times where I haven't even had a minute to even think after work, and I'm gonna scream. And then I think about, oh my gosh, there's dishes in the sink. I still have to cook dinner, because it was maybe that week that I was cooking dinner, because Matt and I, we do switch that off and on. So no, I'm not the only one that's cooking dinner. So, and then he noticed, how I've been feeling, and a couple of times that I've noticed now, he'll see that, and then he'll take that as an opportunity to, do the dishes, or maybe I had to even scoop the litter boxes that night, and I'm like, I can't do it. Can you just do it? And well, that one example I didn't ask, but he said, okay, it wasn't like a fight. No, I'm not doing that for you. But really, a lot of the times, when he will recognize how stressed I'm feeling, because usually when I'm talking, I do not sound excited. It's very monotone and not enthusiastic. And then he's like, okay, she's tired, she's stressed, let me do this for her. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. They're too kind. Okay, so the next one was words of affirmation. So now, yes, this was one of them that was tied for 23%. So this says, actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments means the world to you. Hearing the words, I love you, are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends you spirits skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. Kind, encouraging, and positive words are truly life-giving. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's exactly right. Thank you. I mean, tell me that I look good today. Tell me that, wow, you're doing such a great job at work. I know it. Or right, we're breaking because I want to tell you about my new coffee membership tiers that I'm offering to you amazing listeners. Yes, essentially a place for all exclusive content that will not be on my Instagram and Facebook. These tiers are going to offer you from sneak peeks of the next episode, uncut audio clips that won't be on the regular episodes, so we've got some juicy content there, and merch discounts. And that's just the beginning of this all, right? So check it out for yourself. You can go and find these 3 tiers when you click on my link tree in my Instagram bio at the Big Dane Podcast. Boom, click on that, and I'm making super easy for you because it's the first one on there, the coffee cup icon. See which one fits you the best. You've been working so hard, but you got this. All these encouraging words that for me, I really like, because things like that I'll remember and then continue to remember for other times where maybe I'm feeling down or maybe, I need a little pick me up. And it's just nice to hear that from someone, when I go out with friends or Matt and I were getting ready to go out and I'm feeling good. I did my hair, I did my makeup, put my new boots on, my chunky ass boots. For those that haven't seen these boots, wait until you see. They are chunks, chunk. And I love these boots. And so, now I'm all ready. I feel great. And I know I feel great and I look great. But to hear it from someone else is just it's out of this world. It's really out of this world. And Matt will do this, and he'll say these words to me. So it is truly nice. Physical touch. So this is what my results say. This language isn't all about the bedroom. See, a person whose primary language is physical touch is not surprisingly very touchy. Hugs, pats on the back, holding hands, and thoughtful touches on the arm, shoulder, or face. They can all be ways to show excitement, concern, care, and love. Physical presence and accessibility are crucial, while neglect or abuse can be unforgivable and destructive. Physical touch fosters a sense of security and belonging in any relationship. Yeah, how nice. Yeah. So, again, this was 23% for me, tying it with the words of affirmation. Oh, yeah. I do like that. It's a nice way to show that you care about your partner and that that you are in a relationship. We're not roommates. All right, you can touch me, okay? All right, when we're sitting down and our knees bump, it's not but it's oh, right? You know what I'm talking about, how maybe you just met someone, or you have a new friend, and then you're sitting down, and then all of a sudden maybe you cross your legs or something, or you're kind of moving around in your chair, and then you touch knees, and it's oh my god, my knee just touched her knee. That's so weird, but it's really not weird. But this is what goes on in your mind, and then you don't say anything, but it's just you kind of just move back around and nothing happened. Yeah. But I really do enjoy that physical touch, throughout the day or whatever it is. Do you? Okay, so second to last one here, quality time. This says, in the vernacular of quality time, nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all the chores and tasks on standby. Makes your significant other feel truly special and loved. Distractions, postponed dates, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful. Quality time also means sharing quality conversation and quality activities. Yes, I do enjoy this when it's just Matt and I were hanging out, and it could literally be like nothing, but then we'll just talk and, we won't look at our phones. At least we try not to, because this is my time with you, and I just want to focus on us and have these deep conversations. Yeah. Even to me, it could mean going out to a new restaurant, experience that together. What are these new foods that maybe we haven't tried, or, new dishes? So all of that's amazing. But truly, I think really if you're shutting down, you're only looking at each other, you're having this nice conversation, you can put the phones away. That's amazing. Amazing. It's heartwarming and heart melting. So yeah, do love that. Do love that. Okay, so now the last one here, the one where I had 0% receiving gifts. This says, don't mistake this love language for materialism. The receiver of a gift thrives on love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift. If you speak this language, the perfect gift or gesture shows that you are known, you are cared for, and you are prized above whatever was sacrificed to bring the gift to you. A missed birthday, anniversary, or a hasty, thoughtless gift would be disastrous. So would the absence of everyday gestures. Gifts are visual representations of love and are treasured greatly. Yes. So yeah, getting gifts is great, but sometimes when you do open it, it's not that great. So then it's a letdown. Is it cool if you went on vacation and came back with something like a little shot glass that said Aruba? Sure. Not really. But to me, it's not important. It's really not important. And at the end of the day, I feel like I have like a list of things or ideas that I would want as a gift, like maybe for Christmas, maybe for my birthday, where that's what I'm looking for. If you go outside the box, great, but sometimes it's not what you really wanted anyway. So then, yeah, a letdown. So, yeah, receiving gifts, it's just to me. Now, if you somehow manage to get something very cool and inspiring, maybe. But yeah, I think I'll let this one go. Right? But it all is pretty interesting, all these different types of love languages. And even when I think about, past relationships and whatnot, and when I think about my past relationship with my ex, completely different, right? And obviously at that point, I had no idea what even the love languages were, because now it's been like almost a decade ago. But also I remember he wouldn't tell me that I looked nice or that I looked pretty or anything like that. Like I'm saying like on a rare occasion. And, at the time you don't maybe think about it as much, and like everything else is important to you. And then I realized once I started dating again, and now people are telling me like, wow, you look really nice, or, telling me these words of affirmation. Wow, this is what I was missing. This is something that I like. This is something I want in relationship. Now your brain is starting to jog a little and say, hey, yo, give me those love languages. Get rid of these other ones. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that, as you grow as an individual and you have these different relationships, and then you start to understand like, wow, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And yeah, I mean, have you reflected at all in this way with some of your relationships? Now, some of you sure have been maybe with your partner since high school, but it's like, have you actually had these conversations, or do you even know what their love language is? Because and maybe it changes, you know? I mean, especially when you're that young and then you've known someone for so long and now you're an adult, you know, you grow together in your relationship. So, and that changes a lot. So yeah, I mean, have you ever thought of it? I bet you're thinking, that little shit, they never did anything for me or told me I was attractive. You're probably right. Probably right. That is a memory that sticks, right? But I hope you enjoyed this episode on the love languages, right? And to recap, was the acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, and receiving gifts. So hope you can take this back with your partner, or, you know, just have it for life, that you can now think about it further and take that into a new relationship, perhaps, or just have for yourself, for your own knowledge. All right. We'll catch you next week. All right. Peace out. Okay, friends, be sure to listen on your preferred platform. Go to my Instagram or Facebook at the Big Dane Podcast and tap on the link tree within my account to find your favorite way to listen. If you truly enjoyed it, stay on the link tree and tap on leave a review. And you'll notice this link tree has other exciting areas to check out, like the coffee memberships that I spoke about with all exclusive content. A merch section is there because, yes, I have merch waiting for you. And of course, feel free to contact me with any feedback or other topics of interest, which you'll see is the last section of the Linktree platform. All right, see you next week.